Aloha everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kyle with Kylepathic Astrology, or you may have known me in the past as Vision Quest Astrology, or whatever you know me as. Some of you may have even known me as David when I first started this channel. The many names that have come and gone, and I just want to sit with you all today and have an open conversation, kind of a personal update video. I've never really done that on this channel. It's been all astrology all the time, and I am looking to expand what I talk about on here and what I share with all of you, and I wanted to go into a little bit of that and talk to you as well about some of the current astrology transits and just astrological happenings, and just sit and have an intimate little chat with all of you. So first, I'd like to touch on just the rapid times we are in right now. I'm sure you are all feeling it. I am definitely feeling it. I find that most people who are invested in astrology, and especially working with astrology in a deeper way than just your, the typical sun sign horoscope stuff, actually working with the chart, really listening to the planets and feeling the transits as they come and go, and just really taking it in. I find that, those people are usually very tuned in and tapped into what's going on. And it's such an advantage because, yes, you don't necessarily understand why things are happening, but you understand how they're happening, and you're able to harness that energy and use it to your advantage. And when everyone else is running around like chickens with their heads cut off, you can be like, I know what's going on here. I know what's up. And not to use astrology as a stick to beat people with, but you kind of have the hometown advantage. You know what's going on. We are approaching to the new moon solar eclipse in Pisces, upcoming on the 26th, 27th, I believe. Today is the 22nd. So that's going to be approaching in 4 to 5 days. And so we have been kind of in this incubation phase, and that always happens between the two eclipses when they're 2 weeks apart. And I touched on this in my last video, and you can go and watch that and hear more about the eclipses if that's what you're wanting to know about. But just know that we are kind of getting close to wrapping up eclipse season. It's going to carry us through the next 5 to 6 months, the next half year. So take it in, put those intentions out there. Know that with the eclipse right now, we do have Mars is about to come into a conjunction with Uranus in Aries, so that's going to be very explosive and unexpected stuff going down, and that just very electric energy mixed with the fire of Mars. And then we have Uranus and Jupiter coming into their second exact opposition, I believe on the 4th of March. You're definitely going to be feeling that for a couple of weeks. And Mars is going to be kind of tied up in that opposition. Venus is getting ready to go retrograde, I think, on the 3rd, either the 3rd or 4th of March. So yeah, all of that happening around the same time. There's a lot. It's very charged. It's a very exciting time. It's not catastrophic in the sense that there's a lot of anxiety with it or a lot of trepidation. It's a very exciting, there's a big oomph behind everything right now. And it can feel like things are moving at a very rapid speed and pace. So I encourage all of you to just kind of slow down the best you can, take it all in, be there for yourself. As you can hear, I'm a little bit sinusy right now. I'm a little bit sick. I've been noticing that's going on a lot with people, and there's a lot of new energies kind of coming in. People's bodies have a way of responding and being like, whoa, this is a lot of newness to take in, and you kind of go through some detoxing. And one of the biggest themes I am taking away right now, as we've been in 2017 for almost 2 months so far, that I've been getting from a lot of the current astrological happenings, is being open and transparent. Because I find when you're not, it's always going to come back and bite you in the ass anyway. And so you might as well be upfront and forthcoming about who you are, what you do, what you don't do, and all of that in the beginning with people and just any situation in life. And so that's why I want to take the time in this video to kind of let all of you know where I want to take this channel and what I want to be focusing on as far as astrology goes and different things like that. So that is something I am aspiring to step into and am stepping into this year, is taking my astrology practice to the next level and advertising and promoting it in a way that is going to be more of a primary source of work for me, if you will, and it's one of my biggest passions, and that's why I love these videos, and I want to be putting out more content. I am going to be putting out more content, and so I first of all want to know what all of you would like to see. What type of videos do you want to watch? What are you interested in? I know I started this channel talking a lot about Scorpio rising and just Scorpio placements in general. We were at the very end of Saturn in Scorpio when I started this channel a little over 2 years ago, and as well I was just very interested in the Scorpio rising placement. That is my ascendant, and I wanted to talk about it and put my input out there, but I'm wanting to expand beyond that as well. But I would kind of like to get back to doing some more of those videos and content based around Scorpio, 8th house, Pluto energy. I find people are very interested in that on YouTube. When I first got into this, I feel like I was using astrology as a way to diagnose people, like many people do who do natal charts and who are seeking having their natal chart read, or their transit chart, or whatever kind of chart they're wanting done. It doesn't matter. And I find that when you're using astrology as a self-diagnosis tool, you have a way of making it this end-all be-all thing, and you get fixated in that. And I think that can be really unhealthy, to be honest. It's like spiritual bypassing in a lot of ways. It starts to become a crutch in this way, and you use it as an excuse. Oh, I'm like this because my Mars is in Libra. Oh, I have this in so-and-so house. Oh, Moon is conjunct my Saturn. And it's like, that's great to be aware of all those aspects and parts of your chart and how it does relate to your personality. It's monumental. But I've really backed away from using it as this diagnosing tool to yeah, this is you, oh, this is me, and this is totally it, and there's nothing else outside of that. Hate to say it, but to anyone out there who thinks that, it's a bit stupid. That's my opinion, and I've really backed away from it, and that's why probably the last several months I haven't been working as much on putting out videos on here, doing as many readings, because I am shifting what my relationship to astrology is, seeing it as an influence rather than an end-all be-all thing. Okay, you can be influenced by something, but it doesn't have to totally dictate you. I'm just gonna use an example. I have my Moon in the first house exactly conjunct my ascendant. This placement is someone that totally identifies with their emotions. Does that mean that I have to identify with my emotions though and everything and be this completely sensitive mush that's totally squashed by everything that happens in life? No, it doesn't. Is that influence there? Yeah. I can look at what the higher octave of that is and what the lower octave of that is and what that means for my life. But how I apply that, that's up to me. I'm not at the whims of the planets and what they do and where they were at when I was born and what they're doing now. Again, they influence me heavily. I feel them so much. I'm so connected to the stars and the planetary alignments in the Milky Way. I feel that connection so deeply. I'm totally a moon child. I'll be the first to admit it. But there is more to me than that, and it's merely one influence of many in my life. All of that to say, I know I've been rambling on here, it's what I do best. I am really changing my perception and perspective and just my relationship with astrology in general, and I'm wanting to expand it. Because I'm gonna say I'm going through my Jupiter return in Libra right now, and I feel that when you are going through your Jupiter return, that transit, that year or so really is a time when you're looking at what your talents are, what your abilities are, and you're really honing in on your skills as a person. You don't hear a lot about that with Jupiter. That's one of the things I love about Jupiter, is it shows you where a lot of your talents are, what you're good at, what you're not so good at, and where you can expand upon those things. But also where you expand, you also contract. And it's in that contracting phase that things that you don't need and ways of being are kind of pushed out. And you start to see where your limits are and where you can improve and where you can, touch up a bit. And that's what I've been doing with astrology lately, is seeing, okay, who am I gonna be in this? What purpose is it serving for me? How can I show up and be a voice for the stars, literally, in the best way possible that conveys astrology in a way that resonates with me? And so that's where I'm going to be taking this channel. There's no doubt I'm a traveler. I am super into metaphysical things and spirituality and just self-empowerment and life coaching, and just a really creative, free soul, honestly. And I would love to explore more of those themes on this channel, and health and fitness and things like that. And yeah, there's just a lot of different things I'd like to explore in here. So you're going to be seeing some different kind of videos from me coming up. And yeah, so be expecting that soon. I just really want to be as authentic as I can, 100% authentic, and I feel this will be a good start to that. I did kind of want to go into why I changed my name and why there's been so many name changes on my channel in the 2 years I've had it. I think I started out as Vision Quest Astrology, and that goes with my website, visionquesthealing.com. I've always been very fascinated with the Native American tradition of Vision Quest, where whether you take some kind of herbal substance or you're just sent into a trance-like state, like hypnosis or something, that's one modality. Whatever it is, you know, a Vision Quest is a very spiritual labyrinth unwinding type journey and of spiritual awakening, and that always resonated with me. And I've always felt astrology as this labyrinth that's just constantly twirling and twirling and twirling, and you just go deeper and deeper and deeper with everything in my life. Maybe it's my Scorpio rising, I don't know. That's just how I am. I just want to penetrate everything and just get to the core of it. And so I started out with Vision Quest Astrology for that mere reason. It really resonated with where I was at. Now, obviously, my birth name is David. That is my first name by birth. And so in a lot of my older videos, I did probably greet you all and in the comments as David. That's what a lot of you probably knew me as. And the name David, I am a junior. My father is a David as well. And then he had an uncle that was a David, and an uncle before that. So I was like the fourth David in my family. And it's a name that I never really resonated with, to be totally honest. I love the ancestral presence that comes along with that name, and that, like, carrying on that tradition and the name and what comes along with it. But there's always been a lot of expectation put on me, I feel like, with that name coming into my family. And being a very free soul and having a bit of a hippie spirit, I've always kind of fought against that. Whenever I feel confined and trapped and caged in, I don't do very well as a person. Anyone who knows me well knows that very keenly about me. And so I ended up going on, and I talked about my experience with ayahuasca and going to Peru this last summer in a previous video that I uploaded several months ago. And you can watch that if you want to know more about it. But basically, my experience there in one of my ayahuasca ceremonies, I was told by the ayahuasca spirit that my name, my true soul name, is actually Kyle. And that is what I needed to start identifying as. And it resonated so deeply. I had a couple of friends that actually already called me Kyle, one of my best friends, to be exact, for several years anyway. My middle name is actually Kyle, and I was supposed to be named that originally. That's what my mom wanted to name me. And her and my dad had some conflict on that one, so they ended up going with Kyle as the middle name, and David is the first, because I had to be a junior. And so it's not like it was a big far stretch, you know, transitioning to Kyle as being my first name, as it was already in my name lineup anyway. So, you know, a lot of my family still calls me David because they've known me as that my whole life. But now whenever I meet anyone new, how I present myself on here or in the public in general, I introduce myself as Kyle, and that is the space I'm living from now. And I just wanted to clarify that for anyone that was wondering, and just to put it out there for anybody that has changed their name or wants to change their name, this, that, or the other. Don't let anybody else's opinion influence you from doing so. You can feel their influence, but you don't gotta be influenced by it. I know I had a bit of opposition and resistance by a lot of close family members and even some friends when I changed my name, and people putting their 2 cents in where it doesn't need to be put in. And if you resonate with something and you feel like, hey, this is for me, this is what I want, then you fucking do it. Don't give a shit what anyone else says. Because it's your name, it's your life, it's what you are identifying as. Nobody else's business. People in our world really have a way of wanting to project what they think is right and wrong onto you. And I say, let them have it right back. Let them keep their projections. You don't have to own them. And I just think this is an important message right now as far as authenticity goes, and just being vulnerable and honest about who you are as a person, which is what I am doing right now. I am Kyle. That is who I identify as. I love it. Hopefully you love it too, and if not, that's great. So yeah, that's the little story behind my name change. And I'm going to be very honest, I've been a lot happier identifying as Kyle. Ever since I started doing that, I felt a very big shift in myself. The decisions I started making, the interactions I was having, just everything started feeling more and more authentic to me. I felt more real as a person and more tapped into who I really am. And I think that's the biggest gift we can give to ourselves, is to be who we are. Well, that is it, everybody. I know I was kind of all over the place there between name changes, where I'm taking the channel, some of the current transits going on right now, but I just wanted to do an update video with you all. I feel I haven't been doing enough of these, and from here on out I would love to start doing that. I'm really excited for the direction I'm taking this channel in, and my astrology practice in general. My website, going to be making some changes there, and just how I do readings in general. I'm really excited to start doing Skype sessions with people. So if you are interested in actually doing a one-on-one Skype session with me for your astrology reading, and we can record it and you can have it for afterwards to always go back and rewatch and listen to, I'm totally open to that. I'm just really super stoked to expand this channel and in my practice in different directions, and just really let it explode in the best way possible. So thank you all for watching, and I am just wishing you all the best with these current transits. There's a lot going on, always a lot going on. When is there not? So please use it all to your advantage. And as always, happy transiting, everybody. Aloha.